Hello, good morning. Welcome back to our channel. Today we are going to walk through the process of deploying a EKS cluster, basically the Elastic Kubernetes Service, right? EKS stand for using Terraform, right? This is essential skill for anyone looking to manage scalable containerized application hosting on AWS cloud, right? So we are using AWS services. Before this, we already covered one tutorial on which we have mentioned how to create a EKS cluster using AWS console, right? By the manware. In this step, we will learn how you can automate using your AWS scripts, using Terraform scripts, right? So in this case, let's go and check it out how we can make it. So in our local host, we have created three files basically, right? So for this case, we have created three files which I will be editing over here, and I will let you know with the details what we have specified. Okay. Before that, if you're going overhead with this video, there is a prerequisite. The prerequisite is that you require to have AWS account, right? AWS free account, and you have to install AWS CLI on your local machine, right? On your laptop, and configure on local, that means on your local machine, right? And we have to install Terraform also on your local, right, in order to communicate with your AWS, because we are using Terraform scripts, right? These are the temporary which we don't require currently, but these are the three prerequisites which we have to complete. If you're how you're going to achieve this, that I already covered in my tutorials, which I'll be adding over here the link. You can follow and you can install AWS CLI on your laptop, right, local machine, and you can even install Terraform also. And if you're going for any scripts also, in my over here I have a scripts where you can follow these links. I'll be providing you complete guidelines, right? So much ado, let's go and check it out. What do we have it, right? So let's go over here. So first thing is that we are providing the block as provider, right? In the provider, we are specifying what region we are giving one block with the locals. We are specifying the region as AP South 1 because the zone which we required is AP South 1, right? The Mumbai is a zone which we are going to configure our EKS clusters, right? And the nodes. So in this case, the zone is Mumbai is AP South 1, which we have copied over here, right? We have copied, and I'm giving the custom name as Asim Cloud Cluster, or let it be Asim, right? And I'm giving the VPC CDR block. If you want to know how to create this one, I already covered in one tutorial, which is Terraform, right? In the Terraform series, we already covered. If you go over there, if you go for the playlist, right? In the playlist, we have Terraform series. In this, we already configured and we have shown how to write Terraform scripts. So to make it easy, I'm not repeating a step, just I'm giving the CDR block as 10.0.0 and with the block as 16, right? The subnets, right? And the availability zone I'm giving as AP South 1, AP South 2, from where we have fetched that. If you go over here and if you check it out, there is a two zones in AP South 1, right? We are taking these two zones, AP South 1 and AP South B, which we are providing over here, right? If you're going for different region, then you go for the AWS, then you can fetch from there the availability zone of that region. Okay, so in this case, we are specifying two public subnets, right? Two private subnets, right? Then intra subnets also responding. In this case, we are creating for our practicing one, we are creating 6 subnets, right? And we are giving the tags for the subnet as example test.name, and I'm giving environment as test, right? You can give it as a dev also based on your use case, right? So I'll give this environment for the dev, right? So in this case, we are saying that provider is AWS, as we know that we are communicate with the AWS provider. Okay, the region we are specifying, it will fetch from the local dot region. The region we have specified as AB South 1, so it will fetch from this. Okay, let me save over here, then we will go for the VPC. Okay, so in this VPC, we are specifying that just we are giving Terraform modules VPC AWS, which is a standard. If you check it over here, okay, if you come for over here and if I search AWS VPC, right, AWS VPC, then you will be getting resources. Just let me just show here. AP VPC module, right? Simple, right? Terraform module VPC AWS, right? We are fetching from there. As you check it over here, the version I'm going with the 4th one, which is the latest one, is updated one, but I'm going with the stable version. And I'm specifying the name of this VPCs as I have specified over here, right? The name AWS, it will fetch from all specified in the local, right? I'm getting local.name, so it will fetch from the block of locals, right? So this is fine, and this is fine. And availability zone, which I've already specified over here, it will fetch everything from here, availability zones, right? AWS, which we have specified over there. Then afterwards we require a NAT gateway because we have the private subnet, right? So I'm making it as a true, okay? And I'm specifying that Kubernetes specific tag over here with the one, and I'm giving private tag also with this name, okay? And I'm specifying local tags, okay? Now let's go for EKS. So EKS, you can fetch it over here with just going with the official document of Terraform, right? How to create Terraform? Let me go over the back. So simply, if you fetch it over here, I think we have. Just let me check it over here. Okay, these are AKS modules, right? So if you check it over here, it's showing that, you know, the official document of the Terraform is clearly mentioned that module is AKS, which I already copied over here, and is given the resource source also. The source I have copied from here, the source of Terraform, and the version is going with the 24. I'm going with the stable version 19.53. Okay. So this is copied from here. The simply I've copied okay, over here, and the cluster I already specified the cluster name over here in the locals, right? So if you go just a second, if you go over here, the local, right? Just a second, I missed it over here. Okay. Okay, fine. What we have given, the cluster name is a local.name, right? The name which we have specified over here, it will take that ASIM cluster over here, right? Or the environment tag based on the use case, right? So after that, what is saying? I'm saying that, you know, the name of this CDR blocks which I have given over here to fetch it VPC CDR blocks, right? So it will fetch that VPC everything over there. Okay. So if you go for the availability zone, which I have specified everything, oh no, sorry, I have to go over here. Right, I'm saying that cluster endpoint I don't require for the public access currently, because the reason for that is you know, I'm using only for the practicing way, so I'm keeping public access as a false. Okay, so I can make it true also. Let's make it true. Okay, just make it true, so the public access will be enabled, right? So after that, what we have giving that, you know, the cluster and DNS I'm making a tree, and the kube proxy we are making as true. VPC CNI also I'm making it VPC. In which VPC you want to create this EKS, right? So as I specified over here in the provider, right, it will take module.pvc VPC ID over here, right? It will take VPC ID and everything from here, right? It will take private subnet. I want a private subnet, right? And VPC intra subnet, right? And afterwards, what happened? It's fetching all the details over here. So if you go over here, right? Let me just click on this below here. If you check it over here, the cluster name, I'm giving the cluster name over here. Okay, I have copied this and I have customized over here based on the use case, right? If you check it over, it's the same way, which is the document what we have created. That is basically EKS.tf, right? The module is EKS. Okay, the module is EKS. The source we have giving everything over here. A source, right? Source we have giving using over the same way, right? Over here, module. The version, the name, cluster name, I'm making customized cluster name as local.name, right? It will fetch from here, which we have specified. So after that, endpoints is saying is true, so I'm making also true, right? I have made the endpoint also true, right? Then afterwards, a VPC, I moved this one to the VPC.tf, right? So in our case, we have created one more to make it a standard way. In this case, it's creating a managing node group, right? We are copying over here and we are customizing based on requirement. So if you go for EKS, right, over here, EKS manage node groups, right? The same way we have copied over here, AMI, we are using the image type. I have given the image type over here, which is a standard way, right? AL20X2 and the standard way, right? And instance time M4 we have customized over here. We are going with the AMI type, right? T3.xlarge. Okay, and attached we are making true, and we are mentioning that the quantity over here, as we have specified, they are going with the 10, but we don't require that, right? Minimum 2 and 10. For the practice version, we are mentioning that we require minimum one size and maximum as a 2. The dash tier 1, right? And the instance type, I will go with the 3 dot large, and the capacity type to be spot. Right here in the later stage, we require to access our nodes, or we need to access over the kubectl, right? So in this case, what happened, I required one key pair in order to communicate, have the access to the SSH, right? Later on, we are going to access that EC2 instance where we are going to install everything, right? So in this case, we required one key pair. So in this case, we will go to EC2 instance, right? I am in the AP South. You have to create one key pair over here. So just I will go for a key pair, right? And I will create a one key pair with the name as EKS, and I will give the name as EKS cluster, and I'll mention as Terraform, right? Because just to have the name. So I'll go with the .pem key, right? Just I'll copy over here. So the name is already done. So let me copy the name. It's in the download folder, right? So you have to keep this safe. Just a second. EKS cluster, this one, right? So I'll take this name over here, then I'll go back and I will give it key pair over here, right? .pem. Fine. Then I will save it over here. We already specified everything. We have given all the details for required for. In order to communicate with that, the first step what we required, we have to go inside. Let me go over here. I'm currently in the Terraform, right? All the script in the Terraform directory over here. So what I will do it, I will just give ls. Let me just save it. Then afterwards, I'm finding three things, right? Just me make it over here. I have three files, which is basically one eks.tf, provider.tf, and VPC. The first time what we have to do it, you have to initialize the directory. Okay, if you're feeling any uncomfortable, right, you can go and watch my Terraform series. I have specified everything over here. It will take a few seconds. It will initialize this directory, and it will create that configuration of like Terraform. It will get some of the hidden directories over here, Terraform, right? So if you minimize over here, you will saying that one dot Terraform is created. As reference to, if you're going with the git, you have to initialize the directory before using the git commands, right? So here the same thing. In order to use the Terraform, like Terraform apply, Terraform plan, you need to initialize the directory, right? Terraform. So by default, it will create one Terraform, right? It will just take everything, EKS, EKM dot, VPC, and everything, and it will versionize also. So it will take few seconds. I will just wait. Well, if you have any doubt till this configuration completed, just let what is EKS, right? EKS is a managed Kubernetes services provided by AWS. AWS provide EKS services. If you go for any GCP, they also provide GKE, right? Google Kubernetes engine. Then Azure also provides AKS, right? Azure Kubernetes engine. So this is provided by all the major cloud provided. Usually, this is Kubernetes. We no need to install any, Kubernetes on the EC2 instance or operate our own install control panel or nodes, everything like a master node, right? You need to manually install. In this to avoid these things, AWS and all the cloud providers, they are providing the SaaS like a platform or services. They're providing the Kubernetes by default installed with them, right, as a master node. Okay. And Terraform on the other hand is open source infrastructure code. As I mentioned that you write your infrastructure using the code. Okay, simple way. And you can manage whatever the provision infrastructure you have created with the high level configuration languages. Okay, if you check it over here, initializing all the plugins getting installed, dependency, if you check it over here, Terraform has successfully installed. Okay, now in order to communicate with this, if you check AWS CLI, so I should able to find the output that AWS CLI is already configured, right? So let me just wait. Yes, it's showing the output. Everything is that, right? But AWS configure, if I check it, AWS configure, because I need to communicate with my AWS account, right? So I need to configure this, but it's showing that the keys has been expired or something else. So quickly what I will do it, I will go for AWS, then I will go for, let me just open account, right? Then what I required from here is that I will take the keys from here. Okay, when I'm going back over here in the security credentials over here, so I'm into the credentials, right? If you go scroll down below, you need the access keys over here. Just I'll click on the create access key because I don't have access key. It's showing me the prompt that, you know, root access is not valid, but still for the practice way I can use it. So it's providing me the access key. I'll just take the access key and I will use it over here. Okay, then it's providing me AWS secret key, right? So I will copy I will copy these keys and I will paste it over here and I will hit enter. The default region I'll not keep anything, just key let it be all the regions open. So now if you check AWS configure, you're able to find that, you know, the new keys has been configured. This is the XHY, right? You hit enter, then it will fetch you and it will show that XY is the latest key. This is the key is XY, right? HY. So our this part also is successfully done, right? So let me clear this terminal. Okay, now what we will do it, we will plan this resources, right? So let's say I'll go with the Terraform plan in order to check if if my configuration what I have provided is worth or no. Is there any error over there? You know, we can go with that and we can configure. If there is any error, we can fix that error with that, and it will plan, it will show you that what are the resources going to be created and what are the resources going to be deleted with the sign of plus and minus, right? So it will take some time, just you have to be patient because Terraform, you know, it's like during the communication it will take few times. Well, after using the command, right, Terraform plan, it show me that, you know, it's creating all the resources, right? If I go over there, you know, it's providing all the resources which is going to create, right? Just it will show that what is going to create is going to create one security group over here, and EKS one security group, right? It's going to create this with the port 8443, right, webhooks, and 9443, because this is everything is fetching from where, from AWS from Terraform, right? Terraform block over here, right? If you check here, if you go, let me just take you this also. Let me show their GitHub repository where all the code resists, right? Just a second over here. EKS managers, right? See, if you check it over here, all the things has been specified, right? Usually it's taking everything and it's creating variable and everything over here. You can go completely and you check it out over here, right? In a plan and everything, right? So this from where it's fetching everything and it's, you know, it's creating all the things, you know, based on providing the configurations. If you go down over here, you'll see all these things which going to apply, but this is only the plan. As we make the plan on the paper, but doesn't make so that, you know, it's created. It's only the visual visual way, right? Virtual way. So here we already say that is going to create everything, so it's providing some argument. Okay, it's no fine. The next command what we required to do it, we required Terraform plan, right? We will use the Terraform plan in order to apply these changes, because we already communicated with AWS, provided all the credentials required for the in order to communicate Terraform with our AWS account. We have provided access key and access secret key, right? So just we will take for this Terraform plan, but usually it will take more than 10 to 15 minutes, so I'll be pausing this video for the second, and I'll update you after creating of Terraform all the resources, right? Usually EKS will take, if you're going for the manual setup also Terraform or any Jenkins also, it will take usually 10 to 15 more, minutes based on your internet speed and everything. So it will take to set up all your cluster. Okay, we will apply this configuration and we will create the resources now, right? So I will take Terraform apply command, right, to apply the changes what we have like to create the infrastructure by using our Terraform commands, right? So we have checked over here, everything is creating. Now what happened is create all the EKS cluster, right? It will create the EKS cluster, it will create all the dependencies of this EKS cluster as we mentioned in the configuration file over here, right? Based on that it will create all the things, but it will take almost as I mentioned before, it will take like 15 to 20 minutes. We have to be patient. So for a while based on our internet speed and everything, it will take some time, so you have to be patient. It will take usually 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, so for that sake I am just pausing this video. Okay, I will restart when the configuration has been completed, right? We are creating the resources. If you check it over, they started all creating all the resources over here. Okay, so it's prompting me that the value, I'll be just taking yes, auto approve, right? Take the action. So it will take the action and it will create all the resources, right? It will create everything based on our configuration. VPC, it will create one VPC, it will create EKS cluster, right? Using region AP South 1, right? Well, creation of EKS cluster using Terraform is successfully. If you check it over here, the resources 4 has been added, 1 has been changed. The issue was that, you know, the file name which I have given the key, I have added at the time .pem, right? So I did alternation of 1 because of the error. Then I have fixed that one. So it's showing that, you know, the resources has been successfully done. So I will provide you the updated the file Terraform configuration files in my GitHub repo. You don't need to worry about that. So you will not be facing these issues. Okay, so after that, what happened, let's go and check it out. Let's go first. As I mentioned, we have a key over here which I have given, I have mentioned over here. Okay, so if I go for the cluster EKS, right, you're able to find that there is a one cluster has been created, right? If you check it over here, the name which I have given over here, the provider dot, right, the name I have given asim.cluster. So it's picked that name and it's created the cluster name with the same name I configured, right? So if you check here, as I mentioned, that the endpoint we have created as a true, right, in the configuration file. Let me close this for the time being. Okay, let me go over here, the cluster where we have added over there. Let me just show you that point also. The cluster, yes, the endpoint we have created over there, right? True. So it's created one endpoint. With that you can access over here, and created time, it took almost 15 to 20 minutes to create it. Okay, so if you check it over here, you know, it has created the encryption also. It's provided one key which is a KMS key, right? This is the encryption key which we are going to use it. Okay, cluster. Let's go for the resources. Okay, fine. So it's not override for that, right? Because we have refreshed. So let me just refresh over here. There is a 4 port has been created, right? So the first, let's check cube. Yes, it has created the cube proxy. It's showing that, you know, the schedule type and everything, the container image has been fetched and everything is showing over there, right? The keys, as we mentioned, that cube APS, right? Cube proxy is using. Okay, image name is given over here, the cube proxy image, and it's running. It has been created 5 minutes ago, right? If I'm going for the pods, then you're able to find there is a 4 pods over here, right? You have the remaining pods, one is AWS node. If you check it over here, there is a one node agent, right? And everything is fine. It's saying that everything is working fine. If you go for the cluster, then if I go for the tags, right, because we have given tag and as a dev environment, right? So here the key environment and the value is dev. So this manage tag is there. Updated history, there is no updated history. The insights, okay, in the 4 below 4 we have updated this 4 minutes. Okay, if you check it over here, the resources, everything is done. If you go for the pod template, we don't have. If you have a replica set, yes, we have a replica set, right? The core DNS is over here, is showing that, you know, replica set is available. Fine. If I say for the deployment, if you're able to see, one deployment has been done, right? 2 ready, 0 full, 2 desired. If you go for daemon jobs, what of the job has been done, cron jobs, the cluster. If I go for the nodes, so I have one node, right? One node is there which is AP IP is given, which is in the IP source, right? Is created before 4 minutes, right? If I go over here, let me refresh. Do I have any nodes over here? Yes, one cluster WG with the name, one node is created, right? As we have specified, with the key over here, we have given the key, right? So public access is not available, right? In the later stage, we can assign this also, no issue. One cluster WGS has been created, right? 2 security group has been added over here. Private has been assigned. It's showing that in which VPC is created, right? So let's go and check it out, the VPC. If you check the VPC, I should able to find the configuration custom VPC which we have created just now, right? The VPC name what we have given, the VPC name we have given the name as asim cluster, right? So let me see how many VPs we have created over here. So if you see over here is a asim cluster, right? VPC we have given. Okay, so this has been created. If you go for this custom VPC, you're able to find the CDR block which we have given, like 10.0.0.0, right? And the flows also we have given, and how many subnets and the nets has been attached to that. If you check it over here, you know, it's showing that, you know, we have created 6 subnets. Okay, so each subnet has been different, you know. This AP is public, which can be accessed, right? through which let me just check it over here, async cluster, right? So this is the diagram which we're going to get it. Okay, 6 subnet has been created which is associated with this VPC which we have configured over here, right? We have 7 6, right? We have given 6. If you go for EKS, you're able to find over here there is a, just let me show you that also. 1 2 3 4 5 6 subnets, right? We have given the 6 subnets. Okay, and the availability zone which you have given over there. Okay, this is successfully done. VPC also is created, so this is fine. This is how you can practice and you can try it. You can customize based on your name. You can give your custom IP. If I click over here, the subnet is given over here, right? The subnet is over here. The 6 subnet has been created. Okay, let me configure here 1 2 3 4 5 6, right? If we check with the name, yeah, async cluster, right? If I go for the root table, let me go with the VPC, right? Async cluster, there is a root table over here, right? Let AP South 1, public IP, infra, and all the subnets has been given. If I check elastic IP is associated with this anything we have created, yes, 1 2 elastic IPs we have created, right? Which is associated with this. Okay, async cluster app1, app cluster app2, right? See over here, right? If I go for the node, let me just check it out, node over here, then it's showing the system is there, memory is there, and everything. This you can go and you can configure everything. You can work on this also. Just this was the demo for the practice version. So in the later on, what you have to do it, you have to delete this what you have created. Okay, so if I go for here, you know, auto apply, so you have to use this command in order to avoid the billing of this. So I will be deleting this new terminal, right? So I'll be going, just I can go back over here, then I'll give the command and I will say, you know, auto destroy, Terraform destroy, and I will say auto approve, so that it should not give me any prompt saying that yes, do you want to delete or not. So basically I want to delete because it's for the demonstration practice portion, right? So you can delete using this command. Okay, so it will take few seconds, it will delete all your resources. So if I go over here and I will try to check it with the key pairs, right? If I go over here, it should start deleting the configurations, right? So it will take few seconds. I'll wait, let me refresh it. This active state has to begin. Okay, this one is taking Kubernetes, the latest version is 1.3, right? The cluster, and it's saying that the support of this one is 28 July in 2000. Usually it's take 1 year for this support of this cluster. After that, in order to active, you have to update, or AWS can provide the support also, right? So for us it's fine, going with the 1 year is more than enough, right? So I'll wait for few seconds because it's taking everything, right? It will start deleting the root table, EKS, and anything. So if I go over here, if I check root tables, you're able to see that the root tables has been terminating. Okay, it started deleting. Okay, in a few seconds you're able to refresh, you will not find anything over here. Yes, you see over here I have deleted. Okay, if I check over here, you're able to find this also will be deleted, cluster awesome default, right? So in order to how it is created, it will follow all the things like creating the VPCs, subnets, the root table, everything it will code follow. So I'll wait for the few seconds, right? I'll pause this video. Okay, as we have seen here, everything has been destroyed from destroy auto approve, right? So it has destroyed all the created VPCs related configuration of VPC. It may be subnet, nets, security group, related to EC2 instance, related to that, and we have deleted the EKS cluster also we have created. Let's go and validate over here. If you refresh over here, you're able to see that there is a no route table is available, right? Which is associated with the existing VPC, right? So if you go for the VPC, you're not finding any VPC over here. If you refresh over here, you're saying that async VPC is gone, right? So in this over here also, if you check refresh, you're able to find there is no cluster available which is active, right? We have deleted. Okay, the key pair is fine. So if you're able to see that there is no EKS cluster is fine. This is how you can delete your EKS clusters, right, which you have created after practice, because it's costing you bill. Kubernetes free, but the service provided by AWS, the resources or any configuration resources, right, that is going to cost you. So don't forget to share, subscribe, and thank you for watching.